Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's live SEO Q&A session with me and Mr. Chris Palmer. Do check out Niche Website Builders. They can offer you a complete done-for-you affiliate build if you're just a lazy guy with money and you don't want to do any work. Then that is the perfect scenario for you. Just invest your cash. They do all the legwork for you, all the research, all the actual grind, and you sit back and watch your money go up. You get a massive ROI, and yeah, why not check them out? The link is below if you are one of those lazy guys. But they do offer individual services in between. If you're just crap at digital PR, you maybe need a PR blast, they can offer individual services as well. So check that out as well. But we are here to answer your questions. Let us know where you are from and all that good stuff in the chat. Sorry we are late. Chris Palmer, as always, too busy gossiping. I didn't speak to him last week for obvious reasons. And yeah, I think he missed me. So
I did. It's been a while. I don't talk I talk to a lot of people, but there's different levels of conversation that are had. There's family conversations, there's friend conversations, I have a lot of the business and family, but the friend is not, not much.
TJ is here. Sup, homies? D-Ruv Grover. Good to see you, D-Ruv. Long time no speak. Hope you are well. David Pollard. Is Niche Website Builders not UK-based, as their number is a US number? They are 100% UK-based. They may have a US number. I'm not sure on that. But the owners are definitely UK-based guys. And a lot of their team are also UK-based. So I'm not sure why the reason for a US number, but I will ask the question the next time I speak to them and see if there's any particular reason. Why would you have a US number, Chris? Is there a benefit?
Because if that's the target market, like I don't want to call some weird number if I'm in the US. I don't want to have to go on WhatsApp or call some weird number. You know what I mean?
You could potentially, that could cost you a fuck ton of money, right?
Well, it's not that. I want to do business with people in the US usually. You know what I mean? So if that's probably the target market. Like, yeah, they're UK based, and I'm sure they do a lot of work in the UK, but probably US is the target market, I assume.
We're not going to lie. As the US is where the money's at, dude.
Yes.
So
that's what it is.
That's my opinion anyway. But they are UK-based, David, for sure. Nerdy Romero, I am feeling a hell of a lot better than I did yesterday and the day before. Even had the energy to give myself a nice shave prior to coming on here with Mr. Palmer. Because, as you will have seen yesterday, I couldn't show my face because I was lying in my bed trying to do a fucking live stream is not good. But because I missed the previous week because of Dubai, I just felt obliged to continuity is important. And the only reason I never done last week is because in Dubai, they're 4 hours ahead of the UK time. So it would have been like 9 p.m. at night when all the parties are on. So I certainly wasn't sitting doing a live between 9 and 10 p.m. in Dubai when the fucking parties are on. Fuck that shit. But Dubai was a lot of fun. I've got to say that.
What was the big is there any little nugs that maybe you pulled out that you could share?
I mean, not really from an SEO's perspective. It's a weird audience, Chris. So a lot of these guys are affiliate marketers who use the likes of Taboola and other platforms to drive traffic to their websites. So I was one of maybe 2 or 3 SEO guys on stage. There was a couple of people talking about the usual chat GPT stuff. Don't get me wrong, they were talking about some cool stuff, but nothing no one already doesn't know. There wasn't any kind of groundbreaking, like, whoa, here's a fucking cool tool or a cool trick.
Check this out. Yeah.
It's not an SEO conference. That's the thing. It is primarily a paid ads conference. All of these guys are just traffic buyers. That is what that conference is mainly about. And don't get me wrong, that stuff's eye-opening, because we're all obsessed with SEO, and you think that's the be-all and end-all of the world, and it's clearly not. And I think for me, it gives you the opportunity to understand how other stuff works. So yeah.
And Taboola's the premier.
No. No, Taboola's just one of many.
One.
A lot. It depends niche to niche. Again, when you go over there, the majority of people are either in the porn, pills, or gambling niche.
Makes sense.
And, yeah, but there's again over there's a lot of affiliate networks and all that kind of stuff as well, and people talking about all that stuff. So it's a weird audience, a really weird audience. It's good, but interesting, but not particularly good from an SEO point of view. Hello, Big Bill. Just seeing your thing there. Big Bill, I need to email you back, actually, but I'll just see it on here as well. You do need a new website. I did have a quick look at your website, and it's not the most SEO-friendly website in the world, Bill. So let me just give you an example for anyone out there who's watching. If you want to rank for something, you have to have a page in your website for that service, for that area, and so on and so forth. And obviously, Big Bill has a small business there local to me, and it came to me, and it's a little website with a couple of pages on it or whatever, and I'm just like, fuck. there's a lot of work needed here, and I think it was like a Wix website or something. So Bill, I will get back to you on it. They obviously can be resolved. You can get traffic and all that kind of stuff for that. So I will email you on that. But your website, you couldn't do SEO on its current condition, which is common amongst many guys who've just got a little website that's just for informational contact reasons, but
that's a fact.
I did check. Harry Minge, I missed not getting my SEO learnings last week. I need to know who that really is. I swear to God, that name cracks me up every time. And someone we've not seen for a while, Holly Starks. Holly, how the hell are you?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, Holly, where have you been hiding?
Yes.
What
have you cooked up?
Joe, Honey, and a whole bunch of other people. TJ Bowman, I asked this yesterday, Craig, thank you for sharing, but maybe Chris has some thoughts. How to create a dedicated Wikipedia page for a business or brand that sticks, or a service that offers that. So the important thing here, Chris, is it sticks. Yeah.
Creating links is definitely different than creating a page, right? Creating a page, they make it semi-transparent in, like, there's accredited links and non-accredited links, or accredited sources is what they call it. So I think generally the best thing to do is look who is a person that's like you, or a brand or business like you, and see what their accredited sources are. This will at least give you a baseline of what they're looking for. Then the next piece is who has editor access. More importantly, you need two people with editor access. You need the initial put in, and then you need someone to actually add the information, both with editor access. And then on top of that, I need the accredited sources. And then on top of that, I know that there's another verification or validation check. It can't be anything that's an accredited source that's been created in the last 90 days. So it needs to be an accredited source that's been there, like you're a true authority in that space. You look like the winners. Everything we just talked about. That's At least what I know so far. So there you go.
Hopefully that
Nuggets
gives you something. Give me a second. Heinrich, in terms of testing and stuff that I share, I do a lot of stuff in the mastermind and share in my mastermind. Not that I'm trying to suggest that you go over there, but things like, throwing just plain ChatGPT content onto websites and stuff like that. I'm massively playing around with ChatGPT right now, and seeing how much I can, and Zimmer Writer and all of these kind of fun tools. And there's also a guy, I'm not going to mention his tool yet, but Andrew Ainsley has a cool tool coming out. It's in beta mode. So I'm playing around with a lot of stuff just now. But I'm going to sit in the fence in terms of sharing information just yet, because like anything, in terms of ChatGPT, I've used AI content for a number of years, and I've got a process where I think I've got it nailed down, where I can get it to stick. But just taking it from ChatGPT is not working for me. I'm struggling in a big way. I smashed up 200 pages about 6 weeks ago on a particular website, and they're still crawled but not indexed. So that shit, and I deliberately done that to see what the fuck is going on. And then I've got another website where I do something slightly different, and then I've got something where I do it my full fucking way of the full content process, because I keep seeing all these guys out there smashing up all these fucking pages on a massive scale and
hitting, and you're like,
what are we doing? Is this just ChatGPT? What the fuck are these guys doing? So I'm fucking around with a lot of stuff like that, but all I can say is pure ChatGPT is not working for me. That's all I can really share at the moment. But there's lots of good stuff coming out, and lots of guys got tools in beta or beta, whatever you want to call it, and yeah, it will be interesting. So that's all I can share just now. But Chris, you get any mad tests or weird shit you're doing that you can share?
Nothing. I think everyone's trying what's the easiest, fastest way, but we still can't get around that process. There still has to be some type of process in place. But no, I tried that out too, like just throwing stuff up. Hey, will this hit? Maybe on a site that has super authority, but definitely nothing new. The only other piece that I've been doing with the ChatGPT that's new to us was the auto responding of, like, say, Google reviews. So I thought that's been pretty clever. You can do it in Facebook, whatever you want. Pretty easy to set up. Some zaps with ChatGPT sets up super easy. It's cheap. It's fast. Auto responds Facebook, Google. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that's cool. I think it's cool. It's basically free.
It's always a good bonus.
Yep.
But Holly's been hiding in her basement. I fucking still feel really bad about that, Holly. If anyone doesn't know, so I met Holly probably for the first time 5 years ago, I think it was, Chiang Mai SEO. I'd heard a lot about her, seen a lot of her online, and I was over in Chiang Mai, and Holly was talking. But that way you get drunk and all that kind of stuff. But just the guy, it's just British humour. Like some of the lads were like, yeah, Holly, they twisted what she'd fucking shared and basically made out like Holly had a dungeon or a
Kids in the basement.
If people were forced to do all this hard work and it was fucking hilarious. And then we started telling it to other people and adding little bits on, and yeah, it was funny, man. And people were like, "Oh man, that's fucking dirty. That's dirty tactics." But it was all done in good taste, Holly. But yeah, I love that story. Mikhail, Which one is better, OpenAI content versus top-performing content through Spinner? If you don't want to do no editing or any other low-effort content, which is better, Chris?
Well, I assume you're not trying to like rank this stuff. Like, what's the? I mean, it depends on what the purpose is. Like, you could use either of them. I mean, if you just need, if you just need pages up that will show up in search results, but number like 80, then either of those are fine. I'd probably go with the spun of, maybe scrape the top 10, take out the segments, and then do a spin, like like a basic English spin or like a crude spin. That's probably going to be better than the OpenAI stuff. Depending on what you're trying to do. Like, if I want to get indexed and I'm trying to like produce PBN content, yeah, I'm going to go take the top 10 results, pull in segments, do an initial spin, and then spit it out from there. If I'm trying to rank something, I as an assistant, I like the OpenAI, but as an assistant, there's like still a lot of steps. So that's that.
There you go. Good answer, as always. But, Mikel, I would just quickly add to that. It depends on what niche you're in. I know guys like Brad Mabry, who is on in the Tuesday session, and to use Brad's words, he just fucking shits out content using SERPshaker and the best spinner, shits it out, and doesn't edit fucking shit, and it sticks. But it's all local shit, it's but it's working for him. So it depends what you're doing.
For sure.
Reality. So there you go.
What you got there, Craig? What are you doing there?
I'm doing a COVID test.
Another one.
Yeah. I feel a lot better today, so I want to see if this shit's gone.
What is it, like a sticker or something? Like
you need to put this
nose. No.
in your mouth and up the nose.
I thought they had the one where you just like, I thought I saw them doing it at like the Rite Aid. They just like stick it in quick and they're like, you're good. See you later.
Dude, I want to just fucking go out, but it's already showed up as positive. So, dude, I just want to go out and drive in my car for some fucking fresh air. I'm fed up. I've been in this fucking house. I've only been in the house for 3 or 4 days, dude, and I'm climbing the walls. But anyway, Lee Bandoni is asking, have you tried to game the data used by AI writer tools to benefit your own projects?
Yeah, I mean, again, as an assistant, there's more and more people coming out like using this stuff. Like, I don't know, haven't you noticed a massive shift in the way content is performing? Like, optimization is getting tougher. I mean, yeah, use it as an assistant. You still need to optimize it. It's becoming more and more important to have, like, dude, you have to have a different nuance to the content. Like, the optimization has to be much better. Like, you can't just copy and paste that stuff. So if you wanted to get some initial thoughts or some ideas, or go do some quick research for you, or summarize, the top 5 results, go get and summarize top 5 results for this keyword, and then write me a 2,000-word article, and then maybe you might have something. But an assistant, my friend, an assistant.
An assistant is the best way.
A lot of people are hot on this. They're going crazy over this. I don't think this stuff's that good. What do you think?
I mean, it's all right. Here's the thing, Chris, right? I'll share something that I gave in my mastermind today. So years ago, I used to do podcasts, right? And I used to go to rev.com and get them transcribed into content and then try and put them out as a blog post. So if I spoke to you about, I don't know, Black Hat SEO, I would then take all of that audio, transcribe it to text, and fuck it on a blog post. Now, a lot of it didn't really stick. But someone at Affiliate World, a guy called Eric Siu, basically says that he does that now, but shoves it into ChatGPT, which gives you a nice summary blog article on what's said in that fucking audio transcription, and it's fucking genius, and it's sticking. That's the fucking thing. Obviously, it's not just copied and pasted straight from ChatGPT. Obviously, there's the other paraphrasing and human editing and
cleanup. Yeah.
But so again, I was trying that shit years ago, and it just wasn't working for me. But this ChatGPT has changed it a little bit for me, and I can maybe go through a lot of my old videos now, get them I've got a lot of them transcribed anyway, but run it through ChatGPT, do a little bit of editing, boom, I've got fucking more content to fucking lash out. So I'm glad something came, because I can talk for fun all day, and I fucking hate writing. So I've got low attention span. I just don't like writing, man. But
I agree. I hate writing.
But look at this, Chris.
There's no denying that one. It's not even a maybe. Like, no. You can't even hop in the car and go for a ride to get another test because it's a maybe. That's a definite. Sorry.
But Holly is going to SEO spring training, so I will be at spring training. I will also be at Charles's event in July for sure, Holly. So I will be at 2 of the 3. I was going to come, maybe pop over to Denmark, but I'm unsure. It just depends on what else is on, because Denmark's easy for me to get to. That's the Jesper Nuisance Yaks conference.
What are you doing in August?
Dude, are we allowed to see yet?
Yeah. 21, 22, August 21st, 22nd, Caesar's Palace.
23rd as well.
I'm pretty sure that'll be a VIP. I think we should be getting together any day coming up here to, like, us together. But yeah, the date and the location is locked in. So
Holly, Holly's going to be there, right?
We're gonna, we want to get together with the people that we really want. I hope she'll be there. But no,
Holly, you coming to Vegas? Lock down those fucking dates.
Yeah.
Holly's coming. But yeah, 21st, 22nd of August. Caesar's Palace in Vegas. There is going to be an event, but more details will be released in the coming days of speakers. Spoke to Big Mike Pierce yesterday just to double confirm him. Now that we've actually got the dates locked in.
Now that I have the date, that'll be helpful for a few people. 2 definitely that I know of.
We just need to get the speakers confirmed. But it should be a good event. And Holly, you're going to fucking come. So
then it's a definite. Me, you, and Holly oughta. That should be fun.
Exactly. Loud Egg. Export those keywords from Surfer, Quora, and then put them into prompts. For sure. Loud Egg is a tool fetishist. And Nerdy says she fired her child helpers for AI. Poor kids. The story goes, Nerdy, we were actually telling the story that it was homeless people. Don't ask me why. Someone said it was homeless people that were in her dungeon, and she cooked them a big pot of soup in return for whatever for what they were doing. And fucking see the stuff you come up with when you're drunk. It's
big pot of soup. You do eat a lot of odd things when you're having those long nights out. You know when you come back, you're like digging through the cupboard. You're like, yes. You wake up, there's like peanut butter, like peanut butter sandwiches, crackers, jelly jars open. Yeah. Well, at least me. I don't know about anyone else.
No, I'm not going to lie. When I rock up in the hotel rooms, there's
those little jellies.
Dude, it's not good.
Oh, I'm like, I'm hungry. Like, yeah, it's funny, dude. Anyway.
Heinrich says, can you guys share some tips regarding video SEO on a website and webinars and podcasts? Do you guys use these on websites?
Can you guys share some tips regarding video SEO? I get that one a lot because I come on YouTube, but I've been think about this, right? For the video SEO. This is my 3rd attempt at YouTube. it's been 6 years. I really didn't grow that large. I don't know if I'm the best person to ask about video SEO tips. You know,
no, you do well. You do well. I mean, webinars, podcasts, you know, I think, Henry, it depends on what angle you're coming from. Someone like Holly Starks, she can rank your fucking shit. She can rank your fucking podcast in a heartbeat, just because of all the things that she has, shall we call it. I'd like to say phones, but it's not phones anymore. There's just fucking
buckets
plugged into fucking MacBooks and every fucking thing. So we'll just call it things. But so in terms of ranking podcasts and all that kind of stuff, yes, webinars or you know, video SEO, I think it's fairly easy. A lot of it's down to the engagement that the videos get, and obviously if you want to rank organically, the embeds and stuff have to come in. So there's ranking well on YouTube and there's ranking well on the organic search, you know, which includes embeds and all that kind of stuff. So what is it you want to rank, and we can point you near the right direction, because you know, someone like what Holly does, I don't have the materials, shall we call it, to make sure your podcast ranks. The materials. So that's a Holly job right there. And when I say materials, I literally mean fucking materials. Yeah, it's but Red Team says AI content sucks. She also says, I've got to stop getting COVID, man.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on, man.
Well, rooms with 2,000 people in them, you know, you never know.
Look at this. Look at this. Send me a link when you got it up. August is a bit busy, but I will see. Come on, Holly, man.
Oh, dude, we might be able to work out something. I can make it worth your while.
I'm going to not ask any other questions what that might mean, but just in case Holly's wife wants to beat me up, but or you up for that matter. But nah, Holly, it would be good if you got yourself along to that one. You can't miss out with the guys. It's going to be all the good, fun people. So yeah,
and Caesars too. How sweet is that?
Exactly. That can just be that's just a recipe for disaster. If I'm
booze on deck, like that's
booze. It's cheap in Vegas. Gambling. Fuck me. What else could we want?
Ask for.
And Holly always just says it as it is. AI does not suck. Fix the grammar and you're done. That's why Grammarly is an important part of that process. Just go through those suggestions. Boom, 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 boom. Easy peasy. Yeah. You're. Respect the AI, otherwise Skynet will remember. See, I'm an AI bot. Fix the grammar. A Holly bot could be useful. Holly, you should bring out a bot. That would be interesting.
Yes.
A Holly bot. Look, I think there's a brand here. A Holly bot.
Hollybot?
Yeah.
Hollybot.ai?
Yeah.
I can see it.
Take
an automation.
But no, guys, ask your questions. We are here to answer whatever you've got to throw at us. Throw them thick and fast. We've still got half an hour left. So
any question, no dumb questions.
There is no such thing as a dumb question. But August should be a lot of fun, to be fair. I am really looking forward to it. The fact that we can put it on the way that we want to put it on and avoid all that boring, usual type of format.
Yes.
I think it will be interesting. So change things up a little bit and make it a bit of fun as well.
I want an SEO /party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if my old body can cope with it anymore. I had a week's worth of partying in Dubai, dude, and I was in a bad way, man. I'm not going to lie. Some of the nights, I don't know if you've seen, I was chucking my guts up. on a video as well. One night I just lie in my bed and I'm like, oh man, sucking my guts up and everything. It was not a lot of fun.
No.
Well, it was. But every AI is God, then nothing. Toga Party. I'm not sure what that is, but
Toga Party. Like the first thing that pops in my mind is that movie with John Belushi. But I don't know. I could see him like outside, like in his toga. I forget what it's called.
So Holly's asking, is the event during the week or a weekend, Chris, in August? I'm not sure on those dates what that is.
It is. I believe we did do weekday, which is what I was going to say initially, just because of cost. Did it on a weekday, so it's looking like a weekday.
Yeah,
like a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday.
Cool. Yeah, I'd hate to see the cost of a place like that at the weekend. They're just not going to accept your fucking shit at the weekend, are they? That's there's going to be much bigger stuff going on there at the weekend than an SEO event.
Yes.
But Mikkel, how do you evaluate which project is worthwhile pursuing? How do you organize and allocate time for an endless stream of tasks? And what are you outsourcing and doing yourself?
Yes.
It's a good question, Mikkel.
That's a big, deep question. Well, it really starts with the end in mind. You know, is that end goal, do they actually have the resources first and foremost to reach that goal? And can you, whatever that goal is, can I build manpower around that goal? So if the goal is going to be a law firm website, okay, well, what needs to be done? Okay, content needs to be optimized on existing, and okay, we need the new stuff done. All right, I need a man for that. Links need to be built. Oh, plus we need to clean up what was there previously, right? Like, is the budget there? Can I allocate and build a team around the processes and the system? And can it be done within the time frame that is acceptable? So that's how you delegate. I think that's everything right there. That's how you delegate time, or allocate time. And then as far as the outsourcing and doing yourself, you'll go completely insane. You know, like at some point, like if $100 comes through the door, I want to catch the whole 100, but sometimes it's worth catching that 20 so I could go catch another 100. You see what I'm saying? That's how you scale. So I think that process, you don't want to do it yourself. You're going to leave, like, yeah, in the short term, in the month, you'll make less, but over the course of a year, you'll make more. So delegate if you can. You'll make more money that way and you'll get more done.
Delegate the whole fucking lot out. And Chris is speaking from experience, by the way. Chris, over the last few years, has had numerous conversations with me, whether it's, remember the time you're like, Craig, what's the best support ticket? Is it Zendesk? Is it this other one? Like, you went through the whole thing where you started out and you were doing everything. Then you were struggling with even the software to take in the support tickets. Then what the fuck do you put out there? Delegate out. So you've came the full circle, which I have done in the past as well. I started out in SEO where I had to do everything for myself because I was on my own as a freelancer, and then became, the egotistical guy that just wouldn't let go of anything. And I think we all go through that, the egotistical guy that just doesn't want to delegate, doesn't trust anyone, doesn't think anyone else can do anything until you nearly have a nervous breakdown. And then you wake up and go, fuck this. Like, if I'm the boss of this business, why should I be doing all the fucking work? I know what needs done. Build the processes, the systems, and all that stuff, and let some other fucker do the whole work. And that's the only way you're going to get scale. I see all these guys out there going, "Oh, so and so is not a real SEO," because they talk a lot about SEO, and let's see what they're actually doing. Any real SEO will probably be delegating the whole fucking lot out. They've come that full circle. The same fucking thing happens to everyone. And, for me, the only way you can allocate time to growing and scaling a business is taking yourself out of it. Work on your business, not inside the business. And that is the only way you're going to grow and scale and actually have a real business where you earn considerable money. Because, Chris, I'm pretty sure, right, if I was to ask you right now, based on the amount of hours that you can work, you would probably break at 15 to 20K a month if you were doing everything by yourself. Break.
You'd be at capacity. 20, 25K, you're working. All day. Like, yeah.
No family time, nothing.
No, that's 7 days a week. Yeah, about 20. Yeah, that sounds about right. Maybe less though, but still getting the work done.
I would have probably said 15 to 20 is comfortable. Not comfortable. You'd probably be still fairly hard pushed. I think if you were going to enter the 20 to 25, you're literally getting about 4 hours sleep if you're doing everything yourself. So been there, done it all, wouldn't wish it on anyone.
I see those like the one dude in particular, like showing like, oh, I did 18 this week or I did 10, and I'm thinking like, you working just like 60 hours, 90 hours right there. Sheesh.
Yeah, it's not what I want to do anyway.
Nah. And you take that hit up front, but it's long game. You take that initial hit as you start delegating and you're setting up systems and you're fumbling and stumbling. Some people are going to get mad as you're working through the process. You're going to lose old custies. New ones are coming in. They're mad as you're working through stuff. But over time, it becomes, it's so much better. So much better. You take that hit up front, but it'll be worth it, my friend. But build the team, duplicate yourself two or three times, trusted people. It's basically duplicating yourself so you can show each of the pieces, because it's really building a team around each process. And then as you get more clients or more people, more tasks, I need to build more people for each of those teams. Like, what's SEO? You break it down. It's off page, it's on page, and it's technical, and then security, right? You're just building teams in those segments. That's it. That's really what it is, like, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what it is. And College Animal House Mew has sure been trying to challenge SEOs. What he did in Diggity's post the other day was psychotic. I mean, obviously, people have the right to their own opinion on whatever. I'm not a huge fan of trying to sabotage anyone's business out there, and I think I've got a massive respect for people that have set up and made money. We're all here to make money at the end of the day, and if you've got a system in place, whether technically you're the best SEO in the world or just the best businessman in the world, fucking fair play to you. I would much rather be the guy sitting doing nothing and earning a lot of money, having the right systems and the right processes in place, than being the guy that's sitting there doing all the work, is all I could say. You can pay to have things covered. If you need a Python script, there's a guy to do that. It's all about whether you know what you need and stuff like that. And it's not always what you know. Sometimes it's who you know as well. So there's a lot of different angles to come at. So all I can say in terms of other big SEOs, some of them are great businessmen. Some of them are technically gifted, and fair play to them all. I think I try and take as much as I can from them all. And like we just said there, I've been the guy trying to do all this stuff all of the fucking time. And it's horrible. And I earned the least amount of money I've ever earned in my life. So I think, I try and like to keep my hand in and keep my finger on the pulse with as much as I possibly can from an SEO perspective, because I do enjoy SEO. But not to the point where I'm doing all the heavy lifting. So I'm trying to be somewhere in between is where I'm trying to be.
And I love your model. And like I have a couple small projects where I didn't really divest the attention and the energy. Like I moved towards I like the affiliate because it's less, but there's also a level of chaos that I kind of like too. You know, like that. Like you're like, oh, I gotta do this. I kind of like that. Like setting up the assets yourself, getting the content done. Okay, like it's like a shopping list, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that. It's fun, but I do like the chaos. Do you think some people like that? I don't want to say the grind of it, but like it's like chaos. That's what it feels like.
You are.
You're like,
I mean, you're freaky about it. You know, you're probably more technical than many other SEOs out there as well. You know, you have a good technical knowledge, so I can see why you like to go in there and, you know, start blowing shit up and getting, you know, your fingers dirty and all that kind of stuff. But also, I know other guys. I'm not going to name names here, but I know other guys that you know, they own good, successful businesses, but I wouldn't consider them to be technically good at all at SEO. They've just got guys that do it, and you know, they're just businessmen that enjoy SEO. So, as I say, guys like you're a bit freaky, and Holly and all that, you know, running about with all this technology and wires and fucking plugs and also, you know, and I love people like that as well. But you know, as I say, I think I'm somewhere in the middle of all that. In the middle, trying to play the safe game and have a bit of an easier life because I'm getting old.
That's fair. I feel that too. You're racing. You feel that inside too as you're trying to grow. You're like, and you're kind of racing against the clock.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, nah, fuck it, let's go. But nah, sometimes I'm just like, nah, come on, Craig, you know, you're getting on a bit here, you know.
I'm like, come on, like I need to have a condo. Like I want to, you know, I like the ranges. Think about these things.
Chris, Nelly got a question for you and your press release distribution.
Oh, so you got PR. What do you push to the PRs? Traffic through the PR, depending on which variation of keyword you went for. I think that's probably going to be more beneficial than sending do follows to no follow links. Make sure you're hitting a variation of the primary keyword for a long tail. So say I wanted personal injury lawyer services, it would be a long tail. Run traffic through there. You'll probably pop if you put a geo modifier on there and then run traffic through. Probably see more of a benefit running the traffic through than you would push and do follows through those links. I mean, you might want to prop up a couple of them, but I think you'll see a lot more benefit by sending traffic through those assets than sending backlinks through them. If you're trying to build out a tier, I would probably look more towards I don't know what you have in place, but either standalone websites, cloud websites, some type of asset that you control, or you can control it from start to finish. That's where you push the power through. So that's what I would do. That is what I do. Actually,
that's what he does. But hey, nothing wrong with following Chris. If he's getting success with it, why not follow suit? Like we always say, follow those who are winning, and certainly, fuck it, just go for it. But do you hate it, Chris? I always ask Randy Roday this, and I've sold a few Black Friday things myself. You get that cash in the Black Friday, and then you always get these people that forget they bought it and pop up months later like, dude, and you're like, fuck. Why did you not order before now? Does that happen a lot?
Yeah, because you want to get them all done in one shot, you know? You're like, okay, I got another guy to push these through for this time period. And then, yeah. I mean, it's not that I get upset. I'm just thrilled I had a client. However, there's quite a few stragglers for different things. Yeah. But I think it's, you know, charge it to the game is what they say.
Live F1 fan, how are you? Holly Starks made an appearance. I know you're a big fan of Holly. She is here, or was here, for the first time in a while.
Yep.
Vassal. Hi guys, a big fan of you both. I'm currently ranking an e-commerce furniture store The competitors have a lot of backlinks. What should I do other than a PBN with a lot of GSA links to them? That's one little bit of the jigsaw.
Well, that's a big one too. Ecom. Now, I've only had a few successes with large level ecom stores. One of them in a rug space. With that being said, out of the successes that we had, I think what I would be focusing on is massively narrowing down each of the products, the SKU names, the names, getting that done right, getting the structuring right, and focusing on that top level collection as the ranking page. Okay. So that structure of the products is key. Next, we need to build out as many as you can. You know, I was sticking with that 3 to 5, but now as we're moving forward at 10 or 20, if you can, supporting pieces of content that are long tail to support those products. Because the conversion rate is lower, but I can get a big jump of traffic, you know, and then I can get them on the email list. Like there's a lot of other stuff going on. Like we need that visit. So what I would do is I'll focus on structuring, focusing on those top level pages where the products are, making sure that those SKUs aren't fighting with each other. Start looking at long tail keywords that are going to support those specific products and pump, like when I'm saying crank out content, like if I have 1,000 products, I'd be looking to get 10 supporting per product. I know that's, you know, a 2-year plan or a year plan, depending on budget, but you're going to see your reward in a year or a year and a half. Like the links hit the content, start hitting the content. Now to touch on that link aspect, you get into the link graph, dude. Like the PBNs and the GSA. Yeah, that could be helpful, but that's later on when you start running out of links. Take a look at the top players, right? In the top, I don't know what your niche is specifically, but like what specifically do they have in the graph that's in common, that's a high authority? Like whatever the price is, go and gather those up and send them into the homepage. I think that'll get you on the right track. Get yourself into the link graph, take care of the top level collection pages, make sure that your SKUs aren't fighting with each other, and start launching out a large scale content strategy for long tails to support the products. That's what I would do. And GSA is for farther tiers out. You know, it's not a tier 2. So hopefully that helps you. Yeah.
A lot of good information there. Read it wisely. Live F1 fan, this is a question for you, Chris, because you're freaky with all this stuff and I have no clue. See, sometimes you just got to know your strengths, guys. If you change the IMEI and MAC address on an Android phone, how would you manage having different IMEI numbers on the same phone if you want to get YouTube views, for example?
I think I'm pretty confident that you can have multiple images within the Android devices, or you can flash multiples. I believe also too, when we're flashing multiples, or we have 2 different ROMs or side-by-side ROMs or whatever they call it, there's a term for it. I think it's flashing or something like this. You have to make sure that we also have like the dual SIM, right? So you want to change the actual, like the social security of the phone. We want to make sure that because that SIM is going to also be attached to it essentially. So make sure it's a dual SIM. You can flash and run 2. How would you run the views? There's actually tons of automation now to make that very easy. But from a scale standpoint, can I literally set up those phones and like literally scale that? I wouldn't think that you could cost effectively. But yeah, it's definitely doable, but cost effectively for multiple projects as like a service or something, I don't see that yet. But there's a lot of automations. Like if it's just you, a couple videos, because you only have 2 assets. Like to really move the needle, you probably need a lot more, you know? So depending on niche. So yeah, that's that.
There you go. I can't even add feedback to that because I don't even know what the fuck any of that means. But hey, but Radu Sup, guys. Just grabbed a domain from one of the biggest TV networks in the country. Here on this domain, they were hosting their videos. So all the links towards it are iframes. Should I remake those URLs or redirect, since there are thousands of them, all having a good amount of authority iframe links? So what would you do in that position yourself?
So you bought a domain. All the links that are pointing to that domain are coming from frames, pointing to specific pages. Are those pages that have the links coming in, are those URLs, right? Are those URLs that are standing already, that have the page age, the page equity, like the page age, most importantly, are those for keywords that you want to win? Because if those are for keywords or for, keyword categories that you want to win, then yeah, I would relaunch those out and have them. As far as just from a link standpoint, like would I just take that and 301 it? You're going to have a massive decrease of overall equity if you just 301 that whole domain. Like, yeah, it passes, but it's not the same. So that's my best advice there. If you acquired an asset and there was pages for keywords that you want to win, you'll probably pop right in there. But as far as like passing link equity, there's definitely a devalue there. Yeah, it passes power, but they're devalued. So hopefully that helps you out.
Live F1 fan. So going back to the question he was asking about the IMEI stuff, is it not possible to run multiple on one SIM? Like, for example, if he had 3 phones that aren't rooted, I could connect them all to one 4G SIM for basic YouTube tasks without any issues, right?
You could, yes, for sure.
Profile. So yeah, so surely the same applies, having 3 different profiles, let's call it in one phone, with a different IMEI tied to each phone.
You could, but that's so we're still at 3 though. I mean, is that enough to move the needle though? I mean, or maybe I'm not seeing the overall goal here, but yeah. Sure you could. I mean, yeah, could it be done?
You pissed with a lot of that, Chris, right? And back in the day, when why did you give up?
Well, what I did is I bought a bunch of phones from a friend of mine. But then I also started buying a bunch of others too, because they started getting outdated. So I bought another batch. I had a boatload of them. Essentially what I did is there is IT support software that you can install into the devices, which allows remote access and control, which then you could automate. It's great. Like the plan was, hey, let's put these in multiple locations. We'll automate the process. But the latency, the time, plus each SIM has to be paid for. I didn't think that I could sell it and scale it fast enough to cover the upfront investment, plus the amount of time that it took to run and switch the turn off, turn on, plus change the IPs. Dude, it was too slow and too costly. It wouldn't scale fast enough to make a profit. That's the reason why I quit. It couldn't scale fast enough, it just, unfortunately, not that idea. Not that idea.
The only one that I've seen that tries to do that stuff and still trying to do it on a good scale is Holly there. She's stuck at it. Yeah, so fair play to her for sticking it out. So yeah, but it's a lot of fucking work. I couldn't be fucked with that. I've seen Holly in the hotel lobby when we were out at Rockstars, and with all the laptops set up in the lobby way and shit. It's just a lot of stuff to cart around. Holly's literally got a guy that carries all that shit around for her and watches it while she's mingling with people.
And I mean, and now that I've been, I don't know, dabbling in the services and really watching, selling the gold is definitely the most profitable, the end-to-end complete control, and you're selling the gold. You can charge whatever you want, right? However, the guys in between can make the pieces to get the gold, the proxy, the computer, That's where you want to be. That's what at least me,
Yeah.
So like, that's what I like. That's the kind of things that I've been looking towards. Like the investments, I don't want to control the whole thing, like, and then too, it's not scalable. Like I can't help 1,000 or 2,000 or 10,000 people, Yeah. So that's another piece. Yeah.
There you go. If it's not scalable, why do it? It's a good piece of advice. But Mikkel has a site with some content. He bought a good expired domain exactly in the same niche. Should I abandon my silos and rebuild them the same as the expired domain for redirecting to the new one?
So you have a new website with some content. You bought a good expired domain. So here's the thing. That's a good question, right? You can pass link equity and link power. The hardest thing to pass is page authority and page age and page power, right? So if you have an expired domain that had an existing specific URL and links to that specific URL, and you have a new site that you want to pass to that's the same URL, I want to rank for the same thing, that's the best way to do it. So that's that. And then if you're just going to throw one at, like, expect to lose, I don't know, expect to lose a significant amount of referring domains over the course of time, over the course of 6 months. Initially, yeah, you're going to have a lot, but even when you do that 301, like after a while, do they start falling off? Not all of them, but you're going to see some fall off. So that's the best thing. Like, I think moving forward, if you're going to be getting expireds, does that expired domain, A, is it in the category, but B, are the existing URLs or the pages that they were targeting, that they were previously trying to win, what were those? That's the best way, in my opinion.
Hopefully that answers your question, Mikkel. But also the website, you've got an expired domain name in the very same fucking niche. Throw the new website in the bin and just do it on the expired domain name.
Or yeah.
Just for anyone who just wants a straightforward answer. Like, fuck that new website. Just throw it in the fucking bin. It's got nothing of value apart. Take the content, throw it in the fucking bin, and
maybe a cool name. That's a yes.
That, unless you're going to tell me that you're trying to build a brand and you've the new website, some cool fucking brand name.
Yeah.
Then that's,
I get it had some existing equity. Yeah.
Yeah. But fuck that new website, dude. Just get on that other one. But Nerdy, setting up a location service site, I've got some relevant expired domains with high quality local backlinks. Should I 301 to individual pages, all to homepage? The money site will be pretty thin.
Hey, are the, just because they're banger links, just because they're DR40s, if they're off category, you're not going to get all the value. So there's that. And then as far as what are we getting to? Setting up location service, what I would do is push it to an inner page. Push it to an inner page that you don't mind fluctuation. As far as that homepage is concerned, it's branded anyway. It's a local site, right? Who cares? You're trying to win the location service page, right? Top level location plus service. What's the homepage have to do with anything? Like, people don't care about X brand, unless you're trying to win the state on the homepage, right? Like, truly, like, does it matter? I don't want the primary traffic source to be brand. Like, yeah, I want that to come up over time. Don't get me wrong, but I want to win the keywords. So get the equity into the pages that matter is what I'm getting
at. Hopefully that helps you, Nerdy. Live F1 fan, he's got phones, he's got them cheap, and he's got a way of getting free SIMs with unlimited data, but it's a lot to maintain. But I want to get views without going to SMM panel to work, waiting for SMM panels to work properly. Micro workers is a nightmare to try and get the worker to view the entire video. CTR booster doesn't really work that well. I want suggested homepage views. I don't really want search. I'll figure it out at some point. So you make a lot of valid points, and there is no fucking magic tool that does all of this, or is there, Chris?
Well, so you're hitting on you're collecting the pieces, right? So I need unique Macs, right? So I want a lot of phones, unique people. I need a lot of unique profiles, so one profile per. Ideally, the profiles that are built, the user profile is built on, there's Sarah, Samantha, Tommy, and Joey, and they like to search for whatever your stuff is, right? Like this is the perfect user, right? On a unique Mac phone, right? You have MAC address. And then on top of that, I need to be able to have, either a multiple IP streams. So there's services out there that are going to have live device farms where you can test apps. So you can get the MAC address down. That's cheap, scalable, and they already have the dashboard and everything set up. So you're looking for the live device testing facilities. Like some of them have 750 iPhones, some of them have 1,200. There's tons of them, right? So what I would do is you can utilize all their Macs. Then what you need, the only next step you really need is, okay, I can plug in my proxies. If I can get the mobile proxies, that means I can create the accounts. You load the profiles, load the proxies. Now your only next step is figuring out the automation. And there's tons of services out there now that are going to automate the phones. Most notably is GitHub's free, and you're on a testing device farm. Like they're built for this. Like they want you to do this stuff. So automating those devices will be a cake. So I think if you wanted to do it, scale it, I think that would be the best way to do it. That way you don't have to manage it. It's already built. The infrastructure is already there. I was starting to lean towards that for myself as a service, but still, like, there's still some missteps there, but it's definitely doable for yourself. But if you started getting clients in and like you're under pressure, like it could get messy. But if it's just you, it's doable. That's how I would do it, bro.
Hopefully that helps you, live F1 fan. You'll get there in the end, dude. Keep trying. But, guys, we are out of time. That went fairly quickly, to be fair. If you are watching this later on, please do make sure you give us a like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of good stuff. Do check out Niche Website Builders. The link is below. And do check out Mr. Chris Palmer SEO and all of the different platforms that he's on. Wait a minute. Sorry. Oh, bless me.
May God bless you.
So yeah, check Chris Palmer SEO out, who is providing a whole wealth of services, content, and everything else should you want to buy up any of that kind of good stuff. And we do have one little last question for Mikael. I already made the redirect a few days ago. Should I put the files on the expired domain and take the redirect away? Yes.
Yeah, I think that's might be the best way to roll. Yeah.
For sure. But guys, we will catch you same time next week, and hope you have a good one, guys.
See you next week. Thanks, Craig.
Bye bye.
You guys. Bye bye.